Good evening, we are back again factorizing cubic functions. So we'll be doing two questions today. Our first question says we must factorize x cubed minus 4x squared minus 3x plus 18. We equate it to 0. We are factorizing, remember, we are solving for x. This is solved for x. So remember, I said we'll be using what for factorizing? Synthetic division. Synthetic division method. So when using synthetic division, I said you start by drawing this thing. Then you do 4 lines here. Meaning here you must have your A. This line is A. Here is B. Here is C. And here is D. Then here is your critical number. Then you draw your line here. Always here you have your A. Always the value of your A. So now let's draw our line and let's fill the blank spaces. So 1, 2, 3, 4. What is our A? Is x cubed. X cubed A is 1. What is our B? Our B is -4 because it has the degree squared, x squared. It has the degree 2. Remember, our A has the degree 3, our B has the degree 2, our C has the degree 1, and D has the degree 0. That means our A is 1 since it has the degree 3, our B is -4 since it has the degree 2, our D is -3 since it has the degree 1, then our D is 18 since it has the degree 0. So what is the degree? The degree is the same thing as the exponent. The exponent that you see, x cubed, exponent 3, that's degree 3. So now, let's fill. Remember, I said here you always have your A. And here you always have 0. I forgot to write it here. Here you always have 0. So, but then we must fill in our critical number. How do you find your critical number? I said you say mode base with your Casio calculator. Then you type your formula, which is alpha x cubed minus 4x squared minus 3x plus 18. Then you say equal to, it says g of x, you say equal to, it says start, you say -5, equal to, it says end 5, you say equal to, then it says step 1, you say equal to. Then you look at your x and your y's. Remember, when looking for a critical number, you focus on your f of x, which are your y's. You look where your f of x is 0. Let's check. Our f of x is 0 somewhere. Where? You check the x value. That x value is what? Is -2. That means when our x is -2, our f of x is 0. That means -2 is our critical number. We write it here. Then remember, now we have our critical number. We can just move on. -2, I said we take this number, our critical number, we multiply it by the number that is here in the bottom. Always then we find the number that is supposed to be here. Then we add, we bring it down, then we multiply again. We repeat the same process. And we must see if here we don't have 0, that means we have made a mistake. Here always when we add 18 and the number that is going to be here, we must get 0. Always. So let's do it. -2, let's draw blocks here so that can be able to see it clear. -2 multiplied by 1 is -2. We put it here. Then we add now. -4 plus -2 is -6. Then we multiply again because we have a number down here. -2 multiplied by -6 is what? Is +12. -3 plus +12 is 9. Then we multiply again. Negative 2 multiplied by 9 is negative 18. Negative 18 plus 18 is 0, which means we are correct. Now, how do we write our equation? Remember, for us to find x is equal to negative 2 being our solution, that means we had x plus 2 is equal to 0, then we transposed. So now, because we are writing it in this form, we are going to say x plus 2. Then remember, I said now, after using synthetic division, you will be left with what? With your quadratic equation. That has, the first one is your a, the second one is your b, the third one is your c. In your quadratic, remember your quadratic is ax squared plus bx plus c. So what is your a is 1, which is x squared. Your b is minus 6x. Your c is plus 9. Then now, can you factorize this one? Yes. You know, the reason we are solving using synthetic division is because of we want to find a quadratic equation, because we know how to factorize the quadratic equation. It is simpler, more simpler than factorizing a cubic. So when you are here, you can just use quadratic equation, or you can just say x minus 3, x minus 3. Some people know how to factorize it by just looking at it. But then if you don't know how to factorize it, you can just use a quadratic equation to find your solutions. And remember, your quadratic equation gives you the straight answer. That means the quadratic equation was going to give you 3. Because of here, when we now solve, we are going to get x is equal to minus 2, or x is equal to 3, or x is equal to 3. So when using a quadratic equation here, punching this on your quadratic equation, you are going to get what? 3, which is correct. Now let's go to the next question. Now we have x cubed minus 3x plus 2. You have f of x is equal to x cubed minus 3x plus 2. Now students get confused. Remember, I said when using synthetic division, you have something like this: 1, 2, 3, 4. Then you have your critical number. You can just copy it always. You have a, b, c, d. From where? From ax cubed plus bx squared plus cx plus d. Then here you have what? Your a. Then you have 2. You have what? Your 0 here. Always it is in this form. Then you find what you have. You find something like this, where inside this you have what? Your quadratic in the form ax squared plus bx plus c. Remember. So now let's solve. We have x cubed. Now we have x cubed minus 3x plus 2. How do we solve this one? We start by writing our a, b, c, and d. And our line and our a again, b. So what is our a? Our a is the one that has the degree 3, which is 1, x cubed. Our b, remember, has the degree 2, which is x squared. Do we have any number that contains the variable x squared? No. That means you write 0 always, because of inside this thing that I drew, you must have 4 numbers: a, b, c, d. So now we don't have b. Then our c is minus 3, our d is 2. But always this doesn't change. Here we are going to have 0, and here we are going to bring down our a, which is 1. Remember, I know in the examples I did, our a was 1. So if your a here was 2, that means you are going to bring down 2. Don't make a mistake. So it depends on the value of your a. So now, when looking for our critical number, what are we going to do? We are going to type our equation in our calculator. Type your equation in your calculator. Then you say start from negative 5, end up to 5, step being 1. Then you check where your y is 0, your f of x. We can see our y is 0 where? When our x is 1. Let's use 1. Then we are going to say 1 here. 1 is our critical number, because when we put 1 in our equation, we are going to get 0. Let's try it. It's going to be 1 cubed minus 3 into 1 plus 2, which is what? 1 cubed is 1 minus 3 plus 2, which is 0. 1 plus 2 is 3, 3 minus 3 is 0. So we can see that indeed 1 is a solution by just using our calculator. So now we are going to repeat the process. Let's draw blocks. 1 multiplied by 1 is what? Is 1. 0 plus 1 gives us 1. 1 multiplied by 1 is what? Is 1. Negative 3 plus 1 is negative 2. 1 again multiplied by negative 2 is what? Is negative 2. 2 plus negative 2 is 0. Correct. That means our process is correct. And remember, I said what you find here is A, B, and C. For what? These are from ax squared plus bx plus c, which is our quadratic equation. But then remember, our solution here, we said is 1. That means we had the solution x is 1. For us to find the solution x is 1, that means we had x minus 1 is 0. So now we are going to open our brackets. Here is x minus 1. Then here is our quadratic, which is what? It's going to be x squared since it's 1 here, minus x since it's 1 here, minus 2. Then can we factorize x squared minus x minus 2? Yes, we can. Let's try it. X minus 1. Then we open two brackets. We say x minus 2x plus 1. I don't know if I am correct. Let's confirm. We are going to have x squared minus 2x plus x minus 2. Yes, correct. So now we can see that our solutions are x is equal to 1, or x is equal to 2, or x is equal to minus 1. And remember, this method works when solving for x. When you equated your equation to be 0, your y to be 0, which is when calculating the x-intercepts of your cubic, or when factorizing your cubic. Thank you. We are done with this video. If you have a question, post it in the comment section.